Last time on Pokemon FireRed. It's actually been a while. But we got access to Saffron City, explored a bit, took on the fighting dojo, and now we notice that this guard is asleep. Which means that we can just freely enter Silph. Now, you might be looking at the runtime and thinking, we must be covering a whole lot today. We're covering Silph. It's all Silph Company. So, got a nice little lobby here, but not a lot really goes on. So, if we just go over to these stairs over here, on the office first floor, take a peek up these stairs. And there are guards here. Well, clearly just charging as in isn't the best idea, so instead, why don't we just take the elevator as high up as we can and just work our way down. So, as you can see, Silph Company's got 11 floors, guys.
God, I played Silph Company recently because of Let's Go, and I forgot.
It big. So yeah, Silph Company is 11 floors tall, and that's not even the only gimmick to it. There are battles on pretty much every floor, yes, but there's a little something more. We won't have to worry about that just yet, though. For the time being, we've just got a level 25 Rattata. Now, the thing about encounters in Silph is they do get more difficult the higher up you go, so this Rattata, pretty much the cream of the crop of non-boss characters we'll be fighting in Silph. Well, it's not necessarily true. In terms of sheer levels, it's pretty good. Other guys have other tricks up their sleeves.
You could say that out of the Silph Rattatas, these are in the top percentage.
You could say that, but they do have to compete with each other, which is really kinda cruel if you ask me.
Shiitake just really doesn't like rats.
Oh, and what do you know, the ever so rare opponent switch out, which is done just to be rude and feed me an opponent that would actually resist a bug-type move. Oh well, I'm going to fry your bat now, Team Rocket Grunt. Don't worry, Gateu's just going to dig through the building and then body slam this Ekans straight to hell.
I really wish that first round of poison damage KO'd it.
Alright, I'm back. Oh!
Alright, Red Attack, go!
God, this guy's got so many Rattata. I'll never let you speak to the boss. Here, fight my rats. Nice HP. But yeah, it's really kind of difficult for Dirty Pear to have inexplicable villains.
I don't know, I think Nazi Rat really takes the cake.
Yeah, my boss likes tough Pokemon. You wouldn't expect that from a mobster. So, the boss is on this floor, however, as you can see, we can't actually access where he is. So, we're going to have to find something else to get to that floor, similar to the last rocket base we were in, and oh no, the scientist is evil. Make sure to act surprised later when they think they're bringing this up for the first time. Alright, now here's somebody who's actually tough. I guess that grunt must have been there with his level 25s just to sort of lure you into a false sense of security. Not that that really matters for Travis very much. He does have a coughing though, which would be kind of difficult, but we're getting to the point where we can, you know, take down a coughing even if we don't necessarily have its elemental weakness. Nerd. Oh wait, that's in his name. I can't really act surprised. Alright, you kicked my ass. Now quit being a meanie.
Are you happy now?
Look at what you've done to my coughing!
Welcome to 10th floor. So glad of you to join me.
You must have had quite the journey up here. Oh no, I started with floor 11. What? Yep, that's Anita Queen.
That's Anita Queen.
I'm the wrestler what looks at my opponents. Wouldn't expect that, but I'm sizing you up. Said seismic toss will hit you. Though, in fairness, there are definitely moves that are very much geared towards using that sort of thing. Typically the moves that you very much don't want missing. Alright, I've defeated you by telling you that you're inconvenienced. Alright, we do get some good items though. Very nice. Thank you for not really cleaning those up and letting me have those. So, right here we have a door that needs a card key.
No!
No! What do you have? A door! No! But yeah, we also have teleporters. Now, I've played FireRed enough where I actually have a decent idea which teleporters you actually need to use. Otherwise, you're gonna be sort of just going hither and thither for far too long. Honestly, without maps, Silph is even more annoying than you might think, because these teleporters are kind of bad. Most of them are useless, barring like 2 of them.
I want a hack that does nothing but replaces that no with curses!
Confound it!
Oh hey, it's my my theory of linking Rocket, or just random characters in the game to the Hokuto brothers. It's one of the 4 Rocket brothers.
But they're all grunts, so you can't tell who's who.
I mean, clearly this one's Joggy. That macho guy was another Rocket brother. He was Rao.
Might makes right. Which is why I've got a Machoke here. Actually, wait, why would Rao use the Pokemon that needs to be traded to fully evolve? Seems like a bad idea. I'm Rao and I hate friendship. Anyway, I'm never going to have a Machamp.
Rao has a lot of bad ideas. Now is the time to act!
Alright, I'm at peace. I'm now dead.
Now you can rest in it. Oh, I feel like if you do that again, it's gonna hurt more.
Well, theoretically it would, except, you know, ghost types of weird, not type, it's physical.
Oh god damn it, I completely forgot.
I know, god, Shadow Ball is so weird.
See, I think even before Shadow Ball was special, I always thought it was special.
You would think it would be. Thank goodness for the physical special split. Shadow Ball's so much better in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, when it actually lowers the thing it uses.
It's astonishing that Gen 4 is the first good Pokemon game.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I'm glad they finally got Hatsune Miku on the team. She really helped.
I really like the... Oh, this one's Kenshiro.
I've struck a pressure point in your Pokemon. You've already fainted.
It's going to explode. No, it's just a Voltorb. It just does that. He's going to strike a pressure point on his own Pokemon.
I what a jerk!
Voltorb, it's time to use self-destruct. He just pokes it.
It seems like something another martial artist would use in Fist of the North Star. Just reverse Kenshiro. Alright, here, I'm gonna fight you. Oh, I have minions. Wacha! I poked him in his neck, and now I'm gonna throw him at you.
His blood's gonna get in your eyes, Kenshiro. Just be like, we're just gonna talk about North Star for a bit. Sorry, this video's 2 hours long. We never got the scene where Kenshiro, like, is about to make a Mook explode, and the Mook just grabs him and says, like, you have no idea how many diseases I'm carrying that are transmitted by blood. You are about to die. I might be already dead, but you're also already dead.
You think that, however, I've already struck the pressure points in your blood, nullifying the disease.
You asshole, you could have just done that without killing me.
Octo-Curing Strike. Should have figured when Kenshiro started doing the rhythm minigame that he was actually curing me.
Mischievous Orb versus just genuinely happy Orb.
Just having a good time. He's never gonna grow up.
Oh man, look at that special attack go up. Oh wait!
It would have been nice if that were used. I love Magneton's pose. Magnet Force rules.
Magnet Force rules. The Magnet Force's ultimate attack is called Left Hand Rule. The sixth Ranger is just Monsoon.
Take that, Ed.
Has there been a magnet-themed Sentai? There has to be, right?
You would think.
They've done dinosaurs 5 times. They've had to have done magnets.
Alright, so this is one of the teleporters you want to take. This guy's gonna spot me, unfortunately. But it's fine, we've had to fight him eventually anyway. Alright, Team Rocket Grunt, what do you got? He's got Narbok, that's actually bad, except I have Dig, so, you know. I don't think your 6 levels are gonna matter that much, my dude. Also, this guy's level 33. I thought they went up in levels as you went higher up the building, but I guess I was wrong.
Maybe the fights go up in difficulty because the game is balanced such that harder it considers fights with like more Pokemon but lower levels to be harder sometimes.
You'd have to have variety to defeat this guy. Oh, you do have variety.
So you can always go back and heal after almost every fight. So I think they realize that putting like 6 Pokemon against 1 is always going to be easier, even if it is at a higher level. Boom!
You sure got me. It's not smart to pick a fight with Team Rocket. I know you kicked my ass, but still. Oh, you also got the card key, which can access any door in this building. Oh. Well, you're still dumb for fighting Team Rocket.
Anyways, time to get a stealth kill on this guy.
Hey, come on. Show Team Rocket a little respect. I know when a kid's sneaking up on me.
I wish he had a different intro if he snuck up on him.
Well, in fairness, the RNG apparently hates me today. So this Hypno's got a chance, except no, it doesn't. Gonna bite it.
Yeah, because you left this one in the recording.
Oh, you mean I didn't leave failure states in this 2-hour-long video?
No, I feel like we've already had this conversation. I know why you don't... Okay, good to know, dude. I know why you don't leave in failures. But, you know, you could always leave in some harder fights. Like, a single Pokemon getting KO'd isn't a failure. This isn't Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I don't play Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke. I'm not really fond of that sort of thing when the game getting lucky and just critting me could just, take out my favorite person.
I mostly just don't think that Nuzlocke should be considered as standard. Like, the whole point of it is that it's the stupidest thing you could possibly do with Pokemon.
Yeah, but base Nuzlocke runs aren't hard enough, so, I don't know, you're not allowed to breathe during this run. So, this place is also so big that it has a healing spot, so if you ever need to heal, just come to this lady.
Must be weird to just have 2 beds at work. 4 beds, my mistake.
So this guy's hiding behind a plant. Alright, so thanks to the card key and the healing spot, we can pretty much traverse the rest of Silph fairly easily. We can just clear every floor without having to use teleporters. It's really nice. And hey, here's another rocket brother.
Okay, so we have Jackie. Change my mind, this one's Jackie. The last one, he started with a Golbat, right? But then he used Drowsy and Hypno?
Something like that.
Okay, he's Toki. This one's Jackie, unless he does something later.
Alright, yeah, another coughing. I love the difference between coughing and wheezing.
I like that this guy led with wheezing.
Alright, now here's my more powerful Pokemon that also hates living. It curses God every day for creating it. Much like Golbat shouts at God every day. No particular reason, though. Golbat's actually got pretty good self-esteem, but just like shouting at God, sometimes people be like that. Oh, brothers, laugh track. We have defeated 3 of the 4 brothers. There is one possible brother left to avenge them, and he's going to be the weak brother.
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice the 3rd brother. I thought we only fought 2. Time to just body slam this gunk.
It is now just thinner gunk. Alright, and Electrode.
Another thing that doesn't really come across in sprites that does come across in 3D models, Electrodes are gigantic.
Oh, that one's still fairly big, but yeah, no, they're bigger than you think, even by looking at that.
Yeah. So something I've always been confused is what kind of hostile takeover this is. Is this just
probably the most hostile?
I was gonna say, is the way they're talking, is this just, a proper legal one? Or is this a hostage situation?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, I think. They have several hostages, and if the boss doesn't fill out the proper paperwork, a few people die. If they do fill out the paperwork, though, then everything goes fine. Just have to give all your assets over to Team Rocket, or again, you know what, we'll be nice and we'll only start with fingers and toes. How's that sound? All rats shall be food for Shiitake. Oh. Now, why do people keep doing this? Why do people keep saving their rats? What the heck? Shiitake just wants to eat.
There are a lot of orbs in Gen 1.
So many orbs.
Or orb adjacent. Because you've got Coughing, Voltorb, Ghastly, but then you also have Mankey and Geodude.
You could make a separate Pokerap just about all of the orb Pokemon.
Tangela is probably an orb.
What if there's just a human shape under all of that?
Nope. Don't like
What if
that.
there's just a small man?
It's a smaller Tangela.
Ah, the Eradicate returns. Perfect. Shiitake gets out a little fork and knife. Puts on a little bit. Oh no, not Golbat. Whatever will I do about the Golbat? Eevee Mame. End him.
Hey boss, are you ever gonna give us good Pokemon?
Look, I've gone through several caves and I've gotten plenty of Zubats for everyone. These are company issue people.
My uncle's a manager at the Safari Zone. Like, with enough of us, we gotta find a Dratini some point.
No, absolutely not. Once got mugged by a Dratini. Just came down from the alleyway with a knife.
Well, can we at least get more than one Rhydon in here? I mean, you never let anyone borrow the Rhydon.
No! Rhydon's mine.
Rhydon's like out of his Pokeball, standing behind him, he just nods.
Oh, at least this guy's got a Cubone.
This is that Marowak's other son. I kidnapped him.
So I guess this Rocket Brother would be Kenshiro then, because he does have the sad Pokemon.
I mean, this character did adopt 2 orphans, so yeah, Kenshiro.
Oh no! Well, you tried, Turtle Misu. You tried. Brothers, I failed you.
Yeah, join the club.
You got one brother left, my dude.
He better use a Machamp. Or this whole metaphor is going to fall apart.
That one's just got a Pikachu for some reason. Alright, Sandshrew. At least it's a little something. We got the ground-type rocket grunts on this floor, apparently.
And also, this guy's introductory dialogue reminded me in Pokemon Let's Go, story-wise, you're not storming Silph on your own. Both your rival and Blue are, in story, also helping you take down Silph. You do not see them, of course.
They're just always on a different floor.
Until, like, the very end. It would be great if you could just see Blue, like, kicking at one of the car doors, like, open up, god damn it!
Alright, well, here come the Raticates. So, we are only, halfway through the building, and it's gonna be a while before we see anything important happen, so, you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking that I am dying, Squirtle. You got me. Squirtle's reaction was much like his usual reactions in battle. He looked up and shrugged, causing the girl's eyes to widen, and then widen again. I'm alright, Squid Gay. I'm fine. How come you always attack me? How could we? Squirtle said, putting out a paw through the air and taking a few seconds to look at his opponent once more. Ah, I'm not like your usual boss. Hey, remember that time I brought all of you to the park just to taunt you, so my little joke never felt as silly or funny like this one did? 'Scuse me? Hey, you really just want to show off how happy you are. You always seem really depressed because you never know when you're going to hit the jackpot, so you never get your hands on anything good. I got the picture, Squirtle snapped and ran the other way. No, but that's a good story, the other girls agreed, smirking as they did. Oh my... Oh my gosh, Squidward grumbled, pulling Squirtle's head into his hands again. How did you think that was fun?
I'm glad Squidward's in character.
So anyway, just decided I would put a phrase in to talk to Transformer, because we're going to be here a while.
Yeah, fair warning to viewers at home, you're not having a stroke. You have to warn people when you do talk to Transformer, because otherwise they might think they're having strokes. Like, I'm serious. When everyone else is just talking gibberish. My backup plan was to just read more creepypastas. I don't even know if that video will be up by this point.
It will be. And speaking of gibberish, I entered Turtle Misu _Coon. At Dude With You at Santa Claus. You may be thinking now that maybe we don't need to kill all the robots. It's just that we'll have some spare space. Signed, Turtle Misu-kun. At Dude With You, January 9th, 2015. I did not know this was Turtle Misu's Twitter account. I didn't even know Turtle Misu had a Twitter account. What has my son been doing?
Who gave you a smartphone?
If you think robots are a burden, why didn't I do that for the whole game at Dude With You? You may be thinking now that maybe we don't need to kill all the robots, it's just that we'll have some spare space. Turtle Misu-kun at Dude With You, January 9th, 2015. Turtle Misu, why are you so concerned with killing all the robots?
Why are you advocating for mass murder of robots?
I don't even think we've encountered a robot, Turtle Misu.
Alright, well, while we're in the reading things to distract phase, I will at least take the time to read one of the Pokemon creepypastas I kind of like because of just its presentation. It's not trying to be a story, it's just sort of a weird poem. It's called Hypno's Lullaby. Come, little children, come with me. Safe and happy you will be. Away from your homes, now let us run. With Hypno, you'll have so much fun. Oh, little children, please don't cry. Hypno wouldn't hurt a fly. Be free, be free, be free to play. Come down to my cave with me to stay. Oh, little children, please don't squirm. These ropes, I know, will hold you firm. Hypno tells you this is true, but sadly, Hypno lied to you. Oh, little children, you mustn't leave. Your families for you will grieve. Their minds will unravel at the seams, allowing me to haunt their dreams. But surely all of you must know that it is time for you to go. Oh, little children, you weren't clever. Now you shall stay with me forever, troublemaker. And if you still get curious as to what makes a man, you'll find what I think is best of all here. Just before he tells you he is going to tell you in just a few simple sentences, he states what makes a man who will always hold his tongue. He refers to his father as Big in passing, which will prove, of course, that he is speaking from the heart. Me too, Electrode. And by the end of
Electrode exploded.
And by the end of the statement, you will already know how to identify a true man. The fact that you are going to read it is one thing, but you're going to be able to recite it once. Because if you're reading this far, then... I'm sorry, I can't take this. Then you'll be able to understand the concept if you choose to read this entire passage. See, I'm having a hard time getting to the end of this passage because it's going to unlock my third eye. Then you'll be better able to relate to Mr. Lee's words. I say this because this is what makes the point so easy to understand and thus to take seriously. The meaning behind a man who does not take the responsibility of telling you about who makes him is simply that we do not understand that. And yeah, that was Hypno's Lullaby, exactly as it's written originally.
Yep, just look it up on the internet. It's gonna look exactly like that. You'll read the same words.
I'm gonna edit the creepypasta wiki. Hold on. BRB getting banned from Creepypasta Wiki.
Banned for creepypasta crimes. So this one starts in media res, but I feel like it's a good follow-up, Perry said. But he didn't feel safe in the building. If you've been there, you've been here before, and you've seen the problems there, he said. What we do know is that it's not safe. It's really not safe to be here, and I don't think anybody wants to live anywhere that's unsafe. I just think we need to put people in the building before it's too late so we can have some answers. I think that's the biggest reason why I'm here. To just say that a lot of people that are on the front lines of a lot of problems here need to know that there's an answer and a process that will hopefully, I hope, get them out there. But he does agree there are a lot of problems, issues, going on. But those problems need to come from outside the building and not come from inside.
Yes! You implied that, actually.
Even with a temporary restraining order, he doesn't think he'll be able to get out, he says. And he's worried about the safety of other residents. As for being at the top of the security lists, he hopes not. He said it's too early to say whether he'd be able to go back. I don't know if everybody will be okay, because I don't know if they'll be okay with that.
I can't say if everyone's okay, because I don't know if they're okay. Thanks!
I lost focus, and I don't remember who the speaker is, so I don't know which parts of this apply to Perry. But she's very concerned about building safety. And also, you know, all the issues out there in the world, you know what? We gotta take care of them, and if we want to do that, you can't have issues in your home. So make sure to clean up your mold, kids.
I forget, did we say that we finally figured out what Perry's a reference to?
We did.
So, I have another creepypasta that has nothing to do with Pokemon you've already heard, but it's short, and I love it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pull it up to where I can see both it and the video at the same time. Just in case that last Rocket Brother shows up if he hasn't already shown up. Alright. This is the pinnacle of terrible creepypastas. This is the best one to read for a laugh. It is called Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Limited Edition. It all started when I lost my copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I was on eBay and saw something out of the ordinary. The price was only $2.99. I was surprised because it is called GTA SA Limited Edition. Me, being curious, bought it. A few days later, it arrived in the mail. When I took it out of the box, the cover only said SALE. I ignored it and put the disc in my PS2. I ignored this cover, how dare you not say what you should be saying. However, something was not right. Instead of the Rockstar logos, it went straight to the new game. It started off with CJ in Liberty City, walking alone in an alleyway. He then gets a call from Sweet saying that their mother died. This was strange because I never seen that cutscene anywhere. Anyway, when CJ gets to Los Santos, he doesn't take a taxi. He steals a car and drives until Officer Tenpenny arrests him. Tenpenny doesn't drop CJ off in the alleyway, he drops him all the way off at Mount Chiliad. Then, blasting out of my TV, I hear a very realistic scream. As I am now in control, I investigate and find something disgusting. I see Salvatore Leone gutted with entrails all over. He is dangling from his colon. The screen blacks out, and I am now in control of some random pedestrian. I go outside and the graphics are crystal clear. Me, totally shocked at good graphics, tried to turn off my PS2, but it wouldn't. Suddenly I hear a very panicked scream, "Play the game!" As I have no choice, I reach for my controller and start playing. The game has started a mission entitled Kill Him. I do as the mission says, and it tells me to kill this well-dressed African American. As I kill him, the Channel 6 news comes on my TV, and I was completely shocked. President Obama and all of his associates have been brutally murdered in a shooting in Los Angeles.
It's impressive considering they only killed one NPC.
A photo of the man matched the pedestrian that I was playing as. This is the crown jewel. Me, cringing on the floor, crying for assassinating the president.
No, we're not still on Talk to Transformer at the moment.
No, this is real. This is a written story that someone submitted. My game says, mission passed. We have notified police. Seconds later, the SWAT team busts down my door and arrest me.
Fucking narc video games.
The game? Still in my PS2. The game got away with it. It wasn't me, officer. It was the game.
Yeah, we hear that all the time.
I gotta say, this remake of The Fugitive is really shitty.
Well, in lighter news, Spearmint, the only official brand, isn't going to become a dominant force in the gaming market. The more you see brands go out of their way to avoid Nintendo's name, the more you wonder why the company hasn't taken the brand into gaming proper. Come on, Nintendo, why haven't you canonized my specific Spearow?
Why hasn't actual Spearmint sponsored this Let's Play?
Nowadays, the only way games are made is by the big publishers themselves or large-scale studios. Oh, never mind, this isn't lighter news, this sucks actually. Most of the new games released in the past 6 months are developed. No, that wasn't me reading it twice, it's actually there twice. And houses similar to Scheme! It's a model that most of the indie developers who have jumped into the indie scene are now using to get their game off the ground. Scheme and Nintendo are both doing incredibly well in the current gaming market, but their success won't last forever because they're both going to have to learn how to have a larger impact in games as well. A third impact, perhaps one might say. But I'm editorializing now. Scheme is probably going to continue to be a force for good in developing games into the future, but the only reason they're the only ones in the industry this week is because they're the only ones putting money into marketing. Nintendo, by themselves, are the one company they've made an impact in, because of all the money they've put into advertising, and marketing. They've become the world's best known brand. It's easy to see how one of their more prominent That's the end. Kinda got away from Spearmint there, Talk to Transformer.
Yeah, he's had nothing to do with Spearmint, actually.
I just know now that apparently Spearmint is a brand, and you know what? Good for her. Oh no! I might actually... Okay, this one's just completely political, but it does mention Obama, which is fitting, but I'm gonna re-roll this one.
I think I'm just gonna read the first paragraph of this one. Seconds later, the SWAT team busts down my door and arrests me. I am in shock. I was just waiting for Christmas lunch to be served, and I do not know where to turn when SWAT teams with weapons aimed at me attack with dogs.
Get out your gun and just send your dog out.
The gun just shoots dog treats. What am I supposed to do with this? Get him! Oh no!
Alright, I guess I will try. Guess I'll go for shiitake instead then. Sorry, Candy. Shiitake, which is a very strong member of the noodle family. Noodles, cabbage, shrimp, and chilies, fish, and noodles. I don't think that's true at all, actually.
How many times did that say noodles?
Thrice it said noodles. What you can get from the following list: serves 5 to 8, serves about 10 to 12 people, depending on how many people are eating or not. 6 large spring onions, roughly 1 to 1.5 pounds, sliced into 1.5 thick slices from one end, then roughly sliced from 1.5 to 1 inch long. 2 teaspoons salt or pepper, divided. 1 bunch cilantro, roughly chopped, about 1 tablespoon. 2 cloves garlic, roughly chopped, about half a head of garlic. Half a cup finely chopped green onion, roughly chopped, optional, but it helps to keep things juicier. Cilantro for garnish, optional. 2 tablespoons canola oil. 2 tablespoons soy sauce, to taste, divided. The following ingredients for this recipe will all need to be purchased at your favorite grocer Asian market. If you're ambivalent about this Asian market, it's not gonna work. Chili sauce. Half a cup vegetable stock. 3 tablespoons soy sauce, divided again. How do you divide soy sauce? 4 tablespoons finely chopped fresh cilantro, finely chopped or to taste or chopped. And 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. I recommend it, although it stops there, and Arujo is evolving. So perfect timing there, Arujo.
So unfortunately, it will be their final form.
This is my final form. You could call this... You could call this Ghastly 2. And I can't go even further beyond.
Telling you, honey, I would have made netplay work to get you a Gengar. And I had to stop and think of how to pronounce Gengar so I wouldn't say Ganglar again.
Yeah, to be fair, 5th floor is actually pretty close, my dude. If we were going the other way around, we wouldn't be very far through. But anyway, in celebration, Orujo, M to Z, Kanayama, Y to B, Mitsushima, K to G, Iwa, T to H, Iwate, O to M, Iwojima, T to C, Kakushu, and RNT, Korin. From August 2014, a new class of data protection authorities has taken over the Japanese data protection regulations. The new Ministry of Information and Communications Industry has proposed a new classification system, which is based on the guidelines published by the World Trade Organization, WTO, rather than by country law in any of the 34 EU countries, EU 17, EEA 15, Canada 12. Regulations are now more complex. They provide new categories of data that are to be treated identically, both under an international standards definition and as part, and that's where it ends. But I think you owe Haunter an apology, because clearly Haunter is important, probably. I mean, look, just because I didn't understand what any of what I just said meant doesn't mean it's not important.
The part where you were just saying, like, I think Japanese place names over and over again, I was having flashbacks to MGS2. I guess, or just Metal Gear Solid as a whole, honestly, because they keep referencing it.
Joke's on you, apparently this is just the Lalo all along.
No, you need to rhythmically list off stops on a train line.
I'm trying to think of train line stops, and I'm just thinking of them in Pokerap form. Also not going to say it out loud so I don't dox myself.
I actually went through the trouble of pulling up the specific train stops that they use in Metal Gear Solid all the time, and I don't want to say them because it's not a joke. I would just be repeating things.
Go watch Metal Gear Solid 2 instead. Do it. Do it right now. Watch both Metal Gear Solid 2 and this at the same time. watch a speedrun to get as much information as you possibly can.
Just listen to AI kernel breakdown, honestly. Dang, blast it.
Ah, heck, I'm a scientist, but you know what? I don't swear.
This guy's just freaking out.
Oh god, the slugs that took over a building. Their boss said he was looking for strong Pokemon. Never heard anything like this. Gateu. He was born in 1882 and grew up around Waterloo on a farm called Stuane. At the age of 15, he founded his own sewing company, where he continued manufacturing and selling to factories for over 100 years. In 1889, the company made its largest acquisition of products. Its name was changed to Le Crusettes. The name changed again on 31st of February 1890. Excuse me? From Tessé Crusette to Stuane. So the exact same thing. We actually got it on the first go. It's kind of embarrassing for us guys, I'm sorry. By 1895, the company had moved to Ontario, at that time a separate province, to open its factory at 12 Main Street in Waterloo. With the opening of the La Crusette factory in 1899, the company expanded to all levels of its operation, including manufacture in Chicago, New York, and Paris. In addition to selling handmade and domestic goods, Le Creuset is still owned and operated from time to time by a small group of Canadian residents. Gateu's doing pretty good for herself. Getting all those residents of Poke Canada to chip in and work at her sewing company, which apparently talk to Transformers about as good at geography as I am, which is to say, not. Oh, also we could get Protect, which is an annoying move. I don't know if we've seen it yet, actually. Basically, you use it, and if it procs, then whatever move the enemy is trying to use will not work. You can actually use it multiple times in a row, however, the more you use it, the less likely it is to succeed. And quite frankly, I don't think I've ever really seen Protect proc more than one time in a row. It does have its uses, though. It's pretty good to basically nullify moves that take 2 turns to use. So if you know your foe has Hyper Beam and is likely to use it there. If somebody uses Fly or any of the 2-turn moves that attack, or like charge then attack, then it's useful for that, but otherwise it's just the thing that the AI uses that I hate, and it's really annoying. Now, who have we not talked about? Ah, Mira. How could I possibly forget about Mira? So this one just goes places immediately. Mira. They made a lot of promises. John, the deal was made. Tom, yeah. John, that's not true. So we were able to save our lives. Tom, yes! We were able to save the world from certain nuclear attacks. Kenny and John, the only threat to us has been our faith. Thomas, yeah. Kenny, oh, but the fear of hell is the only one that can lead us to an understanding of the mystery of the universe because of a kind of mysticism that we have, which really has been called Christianity. Got him, Kenny! John, well, the thing that we have to learn is, it cannot be. The universe, you know, we've got to see it. Kenny and John, in unison. A lot of scientists have taken this concept, They say if you go into some place like hell because of any of our wrong answers to this sort of question, it can be a very good thing because it'll bring you closer to understanding of our universe. Tom, I think if you try to find a better explanation for anything, it comes out that, you're the best explanation. Kenny, right, but as I say, this is what I said about the mystery of hell. John, yeah. Mira only appeared once in this scene. I'm upset. Why doesn't Mira get to talk about hell? Let my drowsy say hell. This is completely impossible to decipher and eventually just repeats over and over, but it's just char name, weapon sniper, alias, UID sniper 1, alias B sniper, alias C sniper, alias D sniper, alias I sniper.
Why was Battle with the sniper in the war? I think Char might be cursed because I put Char in, it's returning like C+ code.
Is char just a programming term? Char wright's name isn't the first name of a game designer, quote unquote. It doesn't need to be. We've got plenty of talented women out there who are working on something bigger than themselves. A huge part of the joy of gaming culture. Image captioned, there's a whole new generation. Kids like our protagonist, the Bolt. Games don't make money or earn money despite the hype. People don't buy stuff to play on a video game store floor. We create content because it's fun as well as entertaining. Oh god, I hate this. It comes off as a natural response to our need to make ourselves feel good about ourselves in a world where nothing is all that glamorous. Oh god, the rest of this sucks. No.
I have put
Char,
in
please.
Char 4 times, and each time it keeps giving me, like, different code.
Char, enemy deaths, deals 1 damage to nearby enemies and slows their movement speed by 2. Does not break stealth. Char, blue color.
No, it isn't. Hold on.
Oh god. Why is it just giving me Vimeo links at the end?
What's the video lead to? Send it to me if you're too scared.
I already refreshed it.
No. That was important. Now we'll never know.
Char Rotor. 2/15/2014, 1 minute. I feel like I don't like this song because I'm used to it. It's a fast song, but that's okay. It's not like most of his other tracks, and honestly, I like this because it wasn't too complex. It makes the song seem like it'd be good as all his other stuff, and that kind of gets me to listen to all of his stuff. I do get the songs that are really complicated about it, though, like his tracks with a cascade. In the end, he made a whole lot that's not too complicated, and I like that a lot. I think his album was good and a lot of songs that weren't too complex. And I still think that's good for his career because he's one of the best songwriters out there. Why did you expect complexity from a dog? Halsey, 2/25/2014, 1 minute. I feel like this isn't that bad. I always like songs with lyrics, but this feels kind of bad. I did like the lyrics, and the feeling like it makes it seem like you have to make a choice based on who you are, but I don't really have an issue with that. Then why does it feel bad? And also from Halsey, 2/17/2014, 1 minute. Kinda like this track. Sounds weird though. I don't know. I do kinda like some of his songs.
I was getting tired of getting code for Char, so I put in Char Aznable. And I got a quote from Char Aznable. I've been saying this for months. My favorite movie ever was probably 2001: A Space Odyssey. The whole way through it, I was thinking, oh my god, when you were talking about this movie, you mentioned that it would have a different feel if the alien were a man who was a woman, not male or female. You could make that movie more realistic. And to respond to that, Ricky Rott says, well, we didn't. I mean, we really wanted to keep it as real as possible. And then I remember our storyboard artist said in the storyboards that there wasn't enough female. And I thought that was a little shocking to our writers. I mean, I thought maybe it would have been a little better if the alien were a guy. You're not addressing the problem, Ricky. So that was one of the many, many things we changed for the story, where it was much more complex. So I feel that it was really about changing a ton of things for a different experience that is more honest and more fun. But for the first time in a Pixar movie, I think I saw an adult woman. So it's definitely been a real change of the entire movie. I can't remember who said it, but I'm not surprised that we gave one character some lines with a beard. That's so much harder nowadays to write. And we're really sorry if it was and then Ricky's lawyers came out and forcibly silenced him, because what the fuck is he talking about? You started watching Gundam now. You haven't gotten to Ricky Rott, I assume.
No, I haven't. But I'm glad that Char says NB rights.
I'm glad Char's favorite movie is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Evie Mame. I agree, but at least she didn't try too hard to steal my thunder. Not that it made much of a difference. It might if she were like Tifa and had already broken into her team of ninjas. Laughs. She really did give us plenty of time. Laughs. Also, if she wasn't so incredibly hard to catch, but she was also really clever. Laughs. I really hope she's able to defeat this evildoer one day. That evil did try to steal away Tifa's power, P.
Why is Evie Mommy writing, like, self-insert fanfic about Final Fantasy VII?
Better question, who is Bakugo, who says, well, I guess I shouldn't be doing a fan service, but here we are! This fan service ends immediately right after the ending. Laughing and smiling. I think people might get upset at the end, P. Tifa, I guess you're right, 3.
God.
What the fuck is this?
Have you done Hey You yet?
Oh, no,
do you plan to? Because I already put Hey You in and I got a quote from her, and you should check on her. I think she's getting a little upset about being neglected.
You'll have to give me a moment because we're not done here. Bakugo, yes, but my love and joy will not waver, :P. Laughing, smiling, Tifa-chan. And this is attributed to nobody. What do you think? Laughing and smiling. That's the end of the story, :P. Tifa, that's really great, :P. I guess this concludes the story of Aerith. If you, and then it ends. So anyway.
Evie Mommy is editorializing, but like, stupid jokes in the author's notes really needs to be cut down. Anyways, here's the message from Hey You that I think you should, be concerned about.
Alright.
It is like this. It is like I am on the verge of breaking down.
Oh no!
I am exhausted, I cannot stand on the surface anymore, and I am losing my strength in the face of my opponent's relentless killing intent. In order to survive, in the face of his overwhelming strength, I have to rely on myself. But even if I can rely on myself, if I can't rely on my body to stay intact, this cannot happen. Even I do not know the method. Hey You looked down at her bare hands and said, in the end, I do not care about that. If you want to go forward, then don't hesitate and come.
Oh
no! In response to this, Li Shuang was slightly surprised by the words. What does she mean by, I do not care? If Bai Shangshu had said that she didn't care about it, he would have almost certainly have thought of something. It was not only the fact that Li Shuang did not dare to turn around and flee, but also the fact that he was currently thinking about Bai Shangshu did not need to be in the middle of a battle to know that Li Shuang did not want to leave. A young man's determination was not something that only men in their 20s could have. However, this was something that young men of both genders, like... apparently Heiyu is starring in, like, a wuxia action film? She is Kung Fu Pikachu? The spin-off to Detective Pikachu that DreamWorks is in charge of?
And very much into gender fluidity, which is nice.
Yeah,
Good for you, Heiyu.
I'm proud of Heiyu.
My version of Heiyu is a bit better. Heiyu Tong, Dongdu, China's only public Buddhist temple, has just opened the world's largest library in China, the first in the world that has about 700,000 books on the history of Buddhism among nearly 800,600 manuscripts. With a record number of 30,000 visitors per week, it's one of North America's biggest religious and intellectual centers, home to the largest community of Muslims in North America and a significant Buddhist congregation, more than 20,000 members. The center's main meeting hall is more than 300 feet tall. Talk to Transformer kinda got confused about where this library is.
Well, you see, what they didn't say was the library moves.
Ah, I see. Makes sense. Heiyu, the same guy who won the silver medal in 2010's Shanghai 2012 Olympics, has been a consistent top 4 golfer for the dukedom since his time in the United States. This marks one of the biggest opportunities to be in contention for a world title right now, meaning he has a very good chance of taking the number 1 seed, with the likes of Justin Rose and Sergio Garcia competing in the top 10. It all hinges on what happens over the final week. That means if Yang wins, he will be able to play this weekend at the Hohokam Open, which will offer a much tougher shot at the top 3 than a match against the top 2? With all the talk of the World Golf Cup and the big money tournaments, I guess it all comes down to a winner and a loser, with Yang and Hui in this race. What happened to Heiyu? If Yang wins, I'd be very happy, as it would provide me with a very strong run to the Final 4 for the dukedom. But for now, he could be looking at some competition from another player, such as Sergio Garcia. I think we'll just have to wait and see. With the way the World Golf Championships is structured, I believe this week's round in Shanghai will be the very last chance to play that round, but I'm sure everyone will be keeping there. That's where it ends. Heiyu's gotten a lot done since she mysteriously vanished.
She ran away to China, it sounds like.
I guess so. We don't even know what Pokemon China is, but she's there. And she's doing pretty well for herself, I guess? Okay, one more. Heiyu had to hold off the enemy for quite an extended period of time during the battle in order to maintain the morale of the troops within their ranks. When the enemy had been defeated, the soldiers were brought into the courtyard and left in the company of Han Hai and the rest of their men. The soldiers had their personal belongings removed and their orders given to them to prepare for the next day of battle. As they walked down the corridor, they heard someone calling out, "Sister, it's Han Hai." One of the female soldiers who remained in the rear of the regiment said, "No, it's not Han Hai." One of the female soldiers said, "But he gave us a bad nickname at this point." Heiyu was startled.
How dare he?
He said, "That man, he is his son? Is he really his son? That bastard?" The female soldier looked at her hands and she replied, "No, he was my old man." That lady immediately stopped and she asked, "But he really is my old man?" Heiyu was bewildered. Why would she say that? He looked at the girl in front of him asking, "Why did your old man die like a bird?" The female soldier spoke, and unfortunately there's no more to this. Why does Heiyu get all the interesting results?
Why is Heiyu the protagonist of, like, a A historical Chinese epic. Why is she the protagonist of Water Margin?
I mean, there was Pokemon Conquest, now we need a Pokemon game about the 108 Pokemon of Destiny. Starring Gateu.
Pokemon Suikoden would be badass, actually.
That would rule.
They really need to make Pokemon Conquest 2. I'm sorry, we're talking about this now. Pokemon Conquest was the best Pokemon spin-off that I've ever played. And even if they never, like, make a quote-unquote full one with, like, the full Pokédex or anything, and they just use, really limited rosters like they did for the first Conquest, it would still be really good. Make Pokemon Conquest 2. Make Romance of the 3 Pokemon or something. I don't fucking care. They don't all have to be Nobunaga's ambition. You can use Romance of the 3 Kingdoms. Hell, you can just make one set in the various regions of Pokemon. Please.
I really gotta play Pokemon Conquest at some point. But also, man, Pokemon Suikoden. That's rad, actually.
If you play Pokemon Conquest, know that the actual story isn't really that long, but the side content takes up most of the game. So, like, you can play forever if you want.
Ah, it's one of those. So I'm trying to think of who's the Pokemon lookablights.
Meowth.
Yeah, I was calling everyone pigs.
So you're saying we should put all the execute all of the prisoners? Meowth, that's right. I don't know why I was so quick with Meowth. That was just funny to me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The protagonists, instead of Ryo and Joey, Pikachu and Clefairy. And Clefairy is upset about no longer being the mascot. Also, I'm glad that we immediately went to Suikoden too.
It took hundreds to kill me, but I killed humans by the thousands. Look at me. I am sublime. I am the true face of evil. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Just opens a locket and Illumise flies out. It's just a bunch of Volbeats. It's so dumb.
Anyways, we're never getting Pokemon Snap 2, so we're also never getting Pokemon Conquest 2.
Yeah.
It's a shame that, like, Pokemon just has all these spin-offs that could be really damn good.
I mean, I guess it's good that they don't overdo them, but, you know, maybe you might not underdo them either. Though also, in fairness, Game Freak does need a break. As has been pointed out, given recent controversies, even though mainline Pokemon games come out like every 3 years, there's still usually some kind of Pokemon game every year. Maybe you could let them rest, Nintendo. I'm not even saying this in like a, oh, they need to have the National Dex in every video game. Now just let Game Freak rest. They don't even need to make every Pokemon viable in a single game. Just let them rest.
Yeah. Honestly, having played Let's Go, I don't think the National Dex needs to be in every game.
But what about my Bronzong? Loka, what about my Bronzong?
Gotta Catch 'Em All was an invention of a single American ad executive when trying to advertise Pokemon to American audiences. Why would I hold a Japanese company liable for something some American asshole said 30 years ago?
And, like, I get it. Everybody has sort of their oddball favorites that only appear, you know, rarely throughout the entire series. And it would be nice to see them, but, like, I don't know. I'm fine with them not being available in every game. You know? Also, I think I once saw somebody suggest that maybe they just only have older Pokemon, and, like, motherfucker, did you see the reaction to Wooloo? People like new Pokemon.
It's weird because every gen I feel like, okay, now we don't need to make new Pokemon because I'm going to just, I can't keep up with all this. And then they make new Pokemon, it's like, oh, but these are good.
Damn it, these are good. How do you keep making adorable Pokemon, Game Freak? This one just looks more or less like a sheep, but it's super adorable. It's like the most adorable sheep you've made, Game Freak. How did you do that? You made a Corgi, and I don't know why it took you so long, but you know what? Now that we're here, I'm glad.
Can't wait for a Pokemon region set in Brazil so we can get a Capybara Pokemon finally.
The first Pokemon to crush something with its ass.
Capybaras, which just are Pokemon in real life.
Oh my god, this one's rude. So, in an effort to not just do Heyu again, because Heyu is an infinite wellspring, which makes me regret a little bit not keeping her around, I entered, "Oh, you like Suikoden." Suikoden, I like it. Suikoden. There can never be another. Fuck you, talk to Transformer. Suikoden. I like Suikoden. Suikoden. Do you like Suikoden? Suikoden. I like Suikoden. Suikoden. The sound of the name. Suikoden. I like the sound of the name. Suikoden. I want to become one. So I try to make another. Suikoden. I don't know what to do anymore.
Oh, God.
Alright, so I'm going to floor 9, so we're actually, we're done with all the stuff that's not really necessary, but I went through it anyway. Which means now we can actually proceed, but first, there is a guard right there, so we'll still have to fight him. But we're gonna be making actual forward progress, isn't that nice? Also, yeah, there's a weird thing where, like, if you inspect where a door was, it'll tell you the door is open, and I don't know why. It's a weird interaction point.
So maybe I'll have time for a quick story.
Alright, throw it in.
So something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky, to the east. It was moving very irregularly.
And burning red.
Suddenly, there was intense light all around me, and when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me? I did not think it would be too hard to figure this out. I thought there would be two possibilities. 3, the reason why I cannot tell you what happened to me because I believe we cannot know the details of all these things. 4, the reason why I cannot tell you why I am safe. 5, the reason why I should be concerned about the possible events that have occurred just moments ago, despite the existence of another planet. You would think that you are dealing with the universe where this happens. I am not, so it was not my doing. Maybe, when I die, I'll be able to reveal the details to you, so that you may understand just how I lived in a different time. But for now, all I can tell you is that I believe that everything was normal until last night, 1. After returning from my evening nap, I took off my helmet and got out the map to see what it was that I had seen.
Where do you wish to go?
Where will we be off to this fine day? I think the Talk to Transformer gets upset when I put in AI kernel stuff. It feels like I'm mocking it.
Oh yeah, this is what an AI sounds like. Yeah, sure. Fucking normies.
I'm still waiting for it to just go, you think this is a fucking game?
Talk to Transformer just pulls out a knife over and over and over again.
It just makes ASCII art of a gun. Matchup identified Char, which makes him more competent than any character in the Gundam universe. It's Grelith, he is a Char.
Oh heck, I'm getting out of here.
I don't think this guy knows he's an evil villain in a criminal organization.
Alright, so this teleporter right here is the one that takes you here, and hey Hideki, how's it going?
Oh, I guess in this version, your rival was also storming the building.
Oh yeah, he is, but like, he's not doing anything useful. He's just here to fight us. What a jerk. So yes, after all that, make sure you've rested up and saved, because it's your rival, he is here yet again. So Pidgeot, of course, is the same in every team. He's always gonna have that Pidgeot. And Pidgeot's actually, fairly strong. Stood up to Eevee Mame, lightning bolting it. However, may I introduce a second lightning bolt?
So that was a hell of a quick attack.
Yeah, Pidgeot's actually pretty strong. You wouldn't expect that. And Gyarados. I'm not going to change Pokemon, because Gyarados is actually pretty threatening, usually, having Dragon Rage, Twister, and Bite. However, Gyarados is also Water Flying type, which means Gyarados is quad weak to electricity. So yeah, Eevee Mame kind of just slam dunks it to hell. Oh, and Double Kick. Double Kick is actually pretty good because it's fighting type, and I think I'm actually going to give this to Eevee Mame, just, for the hell of it. Why not have a fighting type attack, Sometimes you might need a fighting type attack. Oh, I should also mention that Gyarados only appears in 2 of his teams, since, one of his teams will have a Blastoise. But the Growlithe here, of course, won't be on his Charizard team. Should mention that Execute appears on his Charizard and Blastoise teams, but of course not in this one, because he's got a Venusaur.
I forget, how early does Execute show up on Victory Road? Not Victory Road, but the Indigo Plateau approach.
Yeah, I don't remember actually. I don't know the Pokemon on that route, because I don't really bother with them ever.
I was trying to think, if you were way into Execute for whatever reason, if it was, viable to go there early and catch one.
And here comes Venusaur, who immediately poisons Char. Heck. And unfortunately, Char's not actually great at, doing damage at the moment, being,
11 levels behind.
11 levels, only has Ember. Nothing's really going all that well for Char, except that great smell in the air. It's fantastic, but also, poison's painful. Also, that's still really painful even though it's not that effective, so... Yeah, Char's a little bit outmatched for Hideki's starter at the moment. So, let's find somebody who can actually stand up to Venusaur. Well, not great. But she'll do. Gateu is still very powerful and she's got a lot of HP, But at the moment, this Venusaur is a monster, and it's a really good thing the RNG decided it liked me all of a sudden, because, decided to just waste its turns on Sleep Powder, which did not work. And Gateu's now broken 100 HP. Good for you.
Yeah. How many Pokemon are you rotating between? Because you have a team of more than 6.
Actually, I have my notes right here. I can count my entire team. Let's see, 1, 2.
So I notice you're like
5, 6,
consistently way behind
10
in levels. Okay, yeah, that would do it.
Actually, I think we have everyone that I have at this point, because, oh yeah, by this point in the playthrough, I have all the Pokemon I'm going to get, so, Arujo was the last one. She was the final party member, and she's actually going to be pretty helpful against this Alakazam, who of course is in, every party, and is pretty much always the powerhouse of Hideki's team, because I have, of course, mentioned before that psychic types are disgusting. Not as much so as in the original, of course, but still pretty tough. Alright, well, apparently Hideki thinks we're tough enough for Boss Rocket. Well, thanks. I'm glad you came here and interrupted us, just so you could figure that out. Well, at least Hideki has goals. You just... please leave, Hideki. Please leave. Thank you. God. Alright, so, of course I went back and rested before talking to this nice man. So, he's special in that he has a special Pokemon, and it's Lapras. I feel bad for this man who's like, oh boy, somebody here to save the day, and then Hideki just stood there leaning on the table for like an hour, waiting for Hotaru. And then they just had a Pokemon battle in this room. I'm glad he's still in a good enough mood to give us a Lapras. Alright, so we're on the 11th floor, but there's still one more man left. Why is there still a man? Hello, yes, man, please. Look, I've been through so much. Please. Please. I don't want to see your Cubone. Marowak is next. We've got older Cubone. And there goes Marowak. Who gets us a level at least? And lastly, he's got a Drowsy. And down goes the Baku. Nice. Oh, Spore. So, let's see what Spore does. The user scatters bursts of fine spores that induce sleep. Well, I mean, we already have one Pokemon with sleep strats, but why not? I love how we just removed the word stun, and now instead of paralysis it does sleep. We've gotten not necessarily more powerful by removing a word. Honestly, it was a horizontal move. Alright, so let's switch up the old party, cause we're about to fight Giovanni yet again. Hey, hate to interrupt the board meeting, but I've been through 11 floors of Silph, and I'm kinda just done, Giovanni. I'm kinda just done. You know, Giovanni's never been the most impressive villain in that, like, you know that one song on, like, the Pokemon album, Double Trouble?
No.
Which is a song about Team Rocket. But it just starts out with Giovanni going, "This is the boss, and I'm sick of waiting. I want Pikachu! And this time don't screw it up! Like, he's the most whiny man in the beginning of that song. Give me my Pikachu, come on, guys!
Yeah, I'm only familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh album.
See, that's one I'm not familiar with. I know a few songs from that one Pokemon album. I think there have been more than one. And also I know the Mortal Kombat album. But outside of that, I don't think I know that many other weird, obscure albums for things.
The Yu-Gi-Oh album is great because Seto Kaiba's song is just a knockoff Linkin Park song. I'm certain I showed it to you at some point, but I'll have to show it to you again.
I think you did, actually. But yeah, I need to hear it again because I've mostly forgotten it. But Double Trouble's actually pretty catchy. And like the one other song I know from that is the one where Brock is just real horny. That's actually a complete fabrication of that song. He's really just trying to think of who he likes better between Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny. But then at the end he concedes that there's so many perfect girls for him.
Just make sure I'm thinking of the same album. This is the soundtrack to Pokemon Live, right?
I don't think so. You know what? Since we're here and we're fighting Giovanni, I'll look it up. Pokemon.
Giovanni Kangaskhan is not a ground type. What are you doing?
Setting it on fire, obviously.
Oh no!
Okay.
The baby!
So... Set baby on fire.
Kangaskhan is screaming at the baby, "Stop, drop, and roll! Stop, drop, and roll!"
Okay, so the album was specifically called Pokemon to be a master. You know, the number 2 and then a B and an A. Mm-hmm. Oh heck, it was actually used as Team Rocket's theme in Pokemon Puzzle League.
Huh.
The Double Trouble song. Huh, I didn't know that.
I think the Brock song you were talking about was also in the stage show Pokemon Live. Because I'm pretty sure I've read about Brock's actor at that stage show talking about that song and how much he hated doing that role.
This sucks, I'm out of here. A one-woman man is what I want to be. Who wrote this shit?
It's not Eric Stewart, right? It's not actually Brock's voice.
Maybe not for that. I think for the soundtrack version it might be.
God, that was so weird. That 4Kids was just making, like, these albums where they got the voice actors to sing. Anyways, Gateu is fighting her evil twin.
Yeah, it's Eric Stewart.
Huh.
Might be different songs then. The third version is the recording from the Pokemon Live musical, which can be found on the Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em Live CD.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a version for that.
Alright, so that's
Anyway,
probably the version
Giovanni.
I heard, because I did not hear Eric Stewart singing it.
So anyway, we beat Giovanni, and now Team Rocket has gone from Silph, but this terrible music is still here. Which I don't think I ever mentioned that this music has that one ear-piercing part of it that I hate. But we've been hearing it plenty of times throughout this song, throughout this dungeon. I'm sure you've noticed it. It's terrible. Sometimes the Game Boy Advance sound chip was bad, but hey, for all this we get a Master Ball, which is a guaranteed catch. It's the only one in the game though, so don't waste it. I know exactly who I'm using it for, though. But that's not going to be for quite a long time. Gateu, please, for the love of God, get us out of here.
So the only 2 dungeons in Pokemon Gen 1 was caves and places of business.
Yep. So anyway, for some reason I decided to do some of the other things in this city.
Because this episode wasn't long enough.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to get it all out, but if you'll remember, there were a few places that were blocked off by Team Rocket for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know why this place of residence was blocked. There's no reason for it. So this kid mentions the copycat, who is another person we'll be meeting in this episode, who was also blocked off. I guess Team Rocket just didn't want to reveal the existence of copycat. I don't know why. I don't know why they've tried to protect this NPC and prevent her from seeing the light of day. I don't know why. Team Rocket works in mysterious ways. I don't pretend to understand them. So anyway, here's Hotaru. You're not supposed to talk in this game. So yeah, that's Copycat. She's a weird NPC who just copies you. So the Doduo does talk, the rest are just Poké Dolls. Oh, that's Wario's Woods. That's a really deep cut. So, yeah. That is this character. She exists, she's here. Even though she's a generic sprite, she's, like, semi-prominent? And for some reason, she's just a big fan of Wario's Woods. But anyway, we are free from Silph. We can heal our Pokemon. And next time on Pokemon FireRed, we'll go to the other place that Team Rocket was guarding, and that'll be the gym. Next time, we won't be here for 2 hours.